this this event. Um, and a lot of the things I'm going to share that regarding attitudes and belief stuff, some of it are basic principles that probably apply to everybody, or basic ideas that could apply to everybody in their life. But but other things are maybe particular ways that I express it in my life. So try to make a distinction between those two, because I'm not necessarily recommending, hey, you do it this particular way. That's just the expression of one of the basic principles. And also, I want to welcome here for the first time Gregory. He's all the way. I think it's 3 a.m. where you are. Is that right, Greg? He's in Kenya, in Africa. Okay, if my memory serves. And so to start out with, I want to share with you my centurist vision. So I'm going to put this on share with some music, and also talk about what is a centurist. So a centurist is somebody who, no way it's guaranteed, but thinks in this day and age, it's possible to really consider that you could start to be able to count your birthdays in terms of centuries. Like I'll be turning 81 in less than 2 months. And so I'm well on my way to my first birthday of the first century, okay? But then, assuming I reach there, then, okay, century number 2, here I come, like that. You see this picture here. Here's a redwood tree in California. They've dated trees like this at 3,000 years old, 30 centuries, okay? So this guy's, did you know I joined your club too? I'm a centurist, okay? So these lyrics in this song is something I created to support my view of being a centrist. I like to share that with you. Can you hear that music?
Yes.
Of time where dreams do abide, I stand with a heart that's so open and wide. My journey thus far, a tapestry rich in growing and learning. It's never a bitch, it's just the beginning. And oh, what a start, a path vibrant and bright. It's my work of art. As the centurist I am, I embrace every day. In pursuit of longevity, I'm well on my way. With each passing year, more vitality new. There's youth in my step, in each morning dew. With wisdom acquired and science at hand, I carve out my future uncommonly grand. Approaching a century, not an end but a start. Just a milestone ahead on the path of my life. I'm always just starting in future sweet dance. In loving my living, I'm taking my stance. Example with youthful glee, a 3-year-old spirit, yes, that is my key. In this journey of life, I am but a child, exploring and learning eternally wide.
Okay.
Wow.
Thank you. Now, the next one, it relates to this one, and I'll need to explain a new term here. called LEV. And LEV means longevity, escape, velocity. And this is can be a very important part in terms of it being even reasonable to think that you can count your birthdays in terms of centuries, because currently there's no one that's well documented to have lived over 122 years old. You know, there's something in pretty much probably something hardwired into our genes that makes that something like that be the limit. So, but aging has been identified as a disease. So to the extent that you can stop, reverse, or slow down aging, and all other diseases, like the chance of getting cancer are 50 times more at 65 than at 25, okay? Just because of the aging, all right? So you knock out aging, you pretty much knock out almost all of the, the risk of all the other diseases, okay? And by the way, there's an interesting statistic. If nobody died from disease, they just died by accident, and the average accident rate, the average person would live to be about 900 years old, okay? So, but the LEV is a point, science and medicine and stuff like this is advancing, it's getting faster and faster. And there's going to be a certain point where for every year that passes, they're able to extend human vital life by at least 1 year. Okay. Right now, it's about 1 year. They extend about 2 months every 1 year. Okay. But that's accelerating. So we don't know when the LEV is going to come. Some people estimate as early as 2030. I mean, that's very, I think, pretty optimistic if it comes by then, just 5 years from now. Okay. But even if it's not then, 10 years. So 15 years, if you can be in a pretty good shape when that comes, then pay attention. You have the option of really going for, being a centurist. So this is some music about the LEV. Catch the LEV, which means use what we know now in terms of eating well, being vital, loving life, so that you're much more likely to reach that point where you could take advantage of the LEV. Oh, by the way, 100 billion have lived and died. Scientists have sort of roughly calculated that since what they call modern humans have started, and how many people have actually lived on this earth, about 100 billion. Okay. We got 8 billion today, and because we're not, before about 250 years ago, the population was very restricted, but then things changed, and now, so that's why we have 8 billion, like 8% of people are alive today that were ever alive. So that's what the 100 billion is about.
No chance to stretch their years so wide. Today we stand where futures glow. A centurist dream you too can know. Catch the man, don't miss your ride. Life waits for you to just decide. Catch that train, stay strong, stay wise. Vital and ready for endless skies. Aging's the mother of all disease. It weakens your body with silent ease. Cancer and strokes, they ride her wave. But science now shows us how to behave. Without disease by easy fate, our years could stretch to 8988. Though accidents still may take their toll, our vision and choice
dreams unfurled to stop the clock and save the world. Cursed well to gray, they set the pace toward longevity's bright embrace. But time demands we play it smart with daily acts, a centurist's heart. Our now must love, what next we'll need to sow today those vital seeds. Catch the light, don't miss your ride. Life waits for you to just decide. Catch that train, stay strong, stay wise, vital and ready for endless skies.
So I'm going to pause just a second. Thank you, Maria. Any questions or comments before we continue? And welcome, Katrina, Sally. Any questions or comments?
Oh, hi, good morning. Hi, Dwight.
Hi,
Hi, everyone.
Katrina.
Yes,
Hi,
hi.
Katrina.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hi.
Okay. All right. Well, if not, we'll go on to the next thing. Until recently, I didn't even recognize this before. You know, even though I'm 80, I'd never spent overnight in a hospital in my entire life. Okay, until recently. But about 3 months ago, I got some symptoms. I checked it out. I found out I had something called a hernia. Um, I don't know, a hernia. It's not a super serious thing, but pretty much the only way to fix it is with an operation. Okay, so I need to go into a hospital. All right, and so wow, what a new opportunity, a new adventure, you know, and and so I had these amazing 4 days in a hospital, you know, and I was treated like a king. I had all these doctors and nurses tending me. I got vegan meals every day. I had a private room, you know. And even though this is one of the more expensive hospitals in Da Nang, and I got, you know, the operation, CT scan, EKG, X-rays, blood tests, ultrasounds, all that stuff, it cost me $1,000, you know. Anyway, after it, I was so amazed and grateful and everything. So I wrote some lyrics about my experience so I could thank the doctors and the nurses there. So I want to share some of that with you. Okay. First, I want to share a few images here. I'm going to go over to here and so down here, I don't know what this is. So I got AI to do these colored portraits. This is one of the doctors, one of the great doctors there. By the way, he was sort of the doctor who told me when I checked in on Monday afternoon, you know, what it was all going to be about. And so I asked him, hey, who's going to be my surgeon? And he said, I am. I said, okay. And then I asked him, well, of all the doctors in this hospital, for this type of operation, do you think you have the most skill? And he replied to me, well, I'm very confident I can do a good job. And I said to him, well, I'm glad you're confident, but that's not what I asked you. I asked you, of all the doctors in the hospital, do you think you're the one who has the most skill? If you are, that's fine, you know? And he said, nope, there's another one who has more skill. So he turned me over to this guy. This guy is the one he said has the most skill and ability in the hospital. Okay. So, hey, you know, they're gonna put me to sleep and everything. I want to do everything I can to make sure I got the best doctor, right? And so here is the doctor. Here's my cardiologist that worked with me. Here's the anesthesiologist. Here are 3 great nurses that help take care of me and everything. Okay. And then, So then I wrote some lyrics, and I'll share those with you now. And that song, just a second. I call this my amazing hospital holiday. Can you hear the music?
At 80 years, my first long stay, with questions crowding every day, but care so clear, so gently shown, soon made concerns not just my own. They checked my name with steady grace, explained each step I had to face, with scans and tests done patiently. They shared the why with clarity. Amazing hospital holiday, you ease my mind in every way. Respect and care both night and day, you turn concern to calm and stay. You turn concern to calm and stay. The EKG, the X-ray screen, an ultrasound, CT machine, each medicine they type for me, so I could see and then agree. The vegan meals, a daily treat, in quiet peace, my rest complete. The nurses came with soft control, attending well, yet giving soul. Amazing hospital holiday, you ease my mind in every way. Respect and care both night and day, you turn concern to calm and stay. You turn concern to calm and stay. At home, me, each staff I met, made service shine without regret. If ever I must go again, I'll know I'm in the best of hands.
So I know, thank you, Maria. I know a lot of people don't think of going to a hospital as being a holiday or much fun or anything. And hey, you go on holidays, you go on roller coasters, and you get scared, right? You do that for fun, right? So yeah, so I had some fear. I breathed into it, and um, but um, it and I was so curious about everything they were doing, and it really was, I mean, like the experience of a lifetime, you know. So whatever occurs along the way, this is just something to have adventure with, to have fun with, whatever, you know. Any comments or questions or feedback on that? Okay. So I remember a joke, I don't know, it was by Woody Allen or something. It said, I know all these things I could do to live to 100, but if I had to do them, I wouldn't want to live to 100, like, not enjoying food and all that stuff, um, um, but so it is very important to enjoy the journey, to enjoy every day. And if we're talking about 100 and more, this is not a sprint, this is for life, it's you need to enjoy the journey, and you're more likely to get there also if you're enjoying the journey. but there can be a conflict, oh, well, I have to give up my ice creams, my hamburgers and all that stuff, and yes, maybe, but if you ask yourself a lot of questions, you can figure out how to really enjoy eating healthy food. There are ways to fix really, really healthy food that tastes great and is healthy for you. One of my favorite dessert dishes, I've got frozen blueberries in my freezer, and then I have unsweetened soy milk. So I take the frozen blueberries out and I put some unsweetened soy milk, and I use some stevia. I don't know if you know what stevia is. It's like a liquid. It's a healthy liquid plant. It's a 0-calorie sweetener, okay, but it's healthy, okay. So I like sweet, like a lot of people do. So I put a little, but then that soy milk and the blueberries, it's just so. I mean, to me, I think today I prefer it to a milkshake, but a milkshake's going to have me die a lot earlier, So there are ways. You need to focus on enjoying the journey. Otherwise, you not even want to get there, right?
Yes.
One other point, I could die in the next 5 years. I don't know. I've already made, I'm on a mailing list of my classmates, email mailing list of the classmates who I went to high school with. Okay, I graduated with, and about every month or less, I'll get an email. Please give condolences to our classmate who died. So, and by statistically speaking, I've already exceeded the age when the average person dies, who was the age I was back in 1962 when I graduated from high school, So, and sure, I'm in really pretty good shape, and I have reason to believe that I had something to do with that, but that doesn't, it's still, there's more risk for me than probably for you, Maria, or you, Greg, or you, Steve. Okay. But ask yourself this question. Like you said, I asked you this, hey, can you say to me that there's 0% chance that you could live vitally and happily to 120 years old? Can you guarantee to me that there's 0% chance that that's going to happen? I don't think you can do that, right? There's got to be some percent chance, especially if you take some actions, right? Yeah.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Sure. Maybe the percentages are less than 50, but why not go for it? And you're going to have a healthier life while you're alive if you really go for that than if you don't go for it, and happier life playing that game. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, now I want to talk about, when was it? I think it was on Friday. I have this assistant who works with me on Friday. Her name is it was on Thursday, and her name is Kinley. And I was telling her about how I had 2 dates with 2 new women this weekend, okay? and how oh my God, maybe I'm going to have a new problem. I'll fall in love with both of them, and I'll have to choose, and she stopped me and she says, I so much wish I have your energy and vitality and attitude when I get to be your age. And she's comparing me to her grandfather, who I think is probably younger than me, and like, is he out chasing girls? No. he's not even out chasing his whatever. I don't know. But basically, it's like so many people are like in some ways waiting to die, and I've just noticed a lot of people that have this well, this is the age to do this, this is the age to do that, this is the age to do that. Who says that stuff? You can do anything. I mean, I'm sure there's, maybe you need to adjust. I need to adjust for the fact that I don't have quite the same body I had then when I was 35. But the passion, the desires, the excitement's all still there, And why not? And
Okay.
sure, some people might not approve, especially these girls how old are they? 40 and 35, I think. Okay. I'm a dirty old man. And but they seem pretty interested in me. They seem to be okay with it. Okay. But it's like I've been privileged to have this very special perspective. I grew up in the U.S. I actually stayed in the U.S. till I was 55, but then I moved to Tokyo. I lived in Japan for 1 year. Then I moved to China. I lived there 21 years. Then I moved to Colombia. That was sort of a mistake. I moved there, lived there 1 year. Then I'm here in Vietnam for 2 years now. So you plop yourself down in these different cultures, and you begin to see how much of this stuff that we don't even realize oftentimes it just comes from our particular culture. It's just pretty much made up stuff. It's not grounded in what's real, like if you're 35 years old, you're too old to do this or that or whatever, And so, and we don't even notice those beliefs that we have that are actually limiting beliefs. We don't even notice that they're there and they're limiting,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a particular comment or feedback on that, Greg? Especially coming, you're from the Kenyan culture, right?
Oh yes.
Uh-huh.
Thank you so much, Dad, for the insight. I appreciate how you have been able to share your experience, the music, even through the hernia experience, the surgery, and basically, I'm so much inspired with the energy that you have. You are able to move despite this age. I can see you have so much energy, like a very young person.
Mm-hmm.
Even I'm wondering now, what inspires you to have all this energy? You're able to do things.
That's a really great question.
Yeah.
Give me about 10 seconds. I've got to do something else, and then I'll answer that question.
Right.
Maybe 15 seconds here. Okay. Well, part of it, Greg, is I don't have those. I mean, those beliefs that lie there in the background, they actually suppress our energy. We don't even know it. Like we might tend to thought, hey, why don't I do this? That would be exciting, but you don't even have that thought. It's like those beliefs of what you can and can't do, or what's appropriate or not appropriate, or whatever. They just don't come up, So
Okay.
they don't appear. And another thing, some of you have heard me ask this question before, but if I ask you, who are the happiest people in the world as a group? as a group?
Babies.
Yeah, young children, right, Trish? Yeah, generally you look at a child generally under 3.5 or less. I mean, sure, sometimes they cry. 10 minutes later, it's over with. Sometimes they're angry. 2 minutes later, it's over with.
And
they
they
just
giggle and laugh.
Yeah, and they just go on to laugh, and even though their life is more controlled than ours, they have less options than we do. You know, they're this being bundle of optimism about the world and life, right? But that begins to shut down around 5, 5.5, 6, 7. And whether it's in our DNA or the culture or both, they began to get the message. That's not cool. You can't just express all that stuff. You gotta be in control. You gotta grow up. You gotta be, quote, responsible. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. And so why we leave the Garden of Eden? We trade it for what we think is looking good. Okay. And what does looking good mean? Well, certainly not look silly, right?
Oh, yeah.
Got to be serious about life, right? Got to do what's expected of you, right? Got to die for your country, right? Yeah. We trade in the Garden of Eden for that. Okay. And for whatever reason, and hey, there are a lot of benefits and advantages of being an adult, but actually you don't have to be an adult. You can just pretend to be an adult. It's good enough. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just 3 years old.
Okay.
I'm pretending to be 80. And that little kid can come out at any time. Because he's the one that knows how to live. What do you think, Greg?
Yeah, I agree with you absolutely. And even in our Kenyan culture, especially in Africa, one thing that I've been able to see is we are so much tied up with our beliefs, and it works to the detriment of someone's health, where people are limited. For example, you find people believe that at age of 60,
Sure.
you are retired, you don't have the energy. People even start believing they are sick, and it works as the way they believe. They become sick, they become weak, they're not able to do a lot. Some are incapacitated, and what you're saying is absolutely correct.
Yeah. And even the whole idea of retirement. Why do we need retirement? Who needs to retire? I'm never going to retire.
Okay.
If you love your work, why would you retire? See, but that's the problem. People are not loving their work. Work is work. It's not play. Work should be play. See, it's all those thoughts about like what. Did you have something to say, Maria?
Yeah, on this point, I think I think many people they really don't enjoy their work.
That's
So
true, of course.
yeah, that's the one point that they want to retire, and then they have time to do what they want. Another point is that maybe they are like the ability to work, or can't catch the trains of the tide. So maybe they are just dropped out by the time and they cannot work. And another is someone just the work to why they still stay the work they don't like because they don't know what else they can do and they want to get the guarantee.
Yeah,
After
they want safety.
okay.
They
Yeah,
want
right.
safety.
They
They
want
don't want
safety.
joy. They don't want they trade joy, excitement for safety, what they think is safe. It's not really safe. Not really. Okay. Or and it's just almost like a certain sense waiting for death. Hey, if safety is what you want, then just die now. Then you'll be completely safe. You know? Yeah. But I'm saying they really could love it, or maybe they can't love that. But if they take a stand that it's important to enjoy your work, going to find a way to enjoy your work, either enjoy the work you're doing, or shift it, or change it, or do something. That enjoying the journey is just as important as the destination and surviving, if not more so. So why even have? If you're not enjoying the journey, then it's the end result hardly even matters. Yeah, but people put that result out in the future. When I retire, then I can be happy. Then I can do what I want. And by that time, they haven't taken care of themselves very well, and they don't even enjoy retirement. I'm not saying everybody, but that often happens. Okay. Just a minute. I want to check on something and see if it's available. I asked, I just want to do something experiment here. I asked ChatGPT to do a hand-drawn portrait of this meeting, and I'm going to share the results of that in the chat box. Just you might want to check it. It took some liberties in changing the pictures around a bit, but and maybe making up some pictures there. But some of those pictures are recognizable. Anyway, thank you, Sally. Yeah, it's and no matter what your past has been up until this point, you can always start now. Like just start fresh. Life is fresh now. It's always now. No matter what the past was, you start now. Okay, enjoy from this point. Enjoy. Figure out how. Yeah, number one priority: enjoy today. Okay, enjoy. Even close. Enjoy the next 10 minutes. Yeah, and sure, you want to set it up so the journey is likely to get some results you want. Need to take care of the future and now, but the process needs to be prioritizing, enjoying the process, prioritizing, and that's the big mistake we make. We prioritize the results. Work hard. No, they don't even consider it to be valuable unless it was hard to get there or something like that. What if it was so easy and you still got the result? Wouldn't that be nice? But no, you won't get any honors for that. You get honors for the purpose, for having pain along the way, for struggling. And all those stories we listen to, right? The struggle, right? Nobody want to listen to a just happy all the time story. Right?
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, I mean, it's everywhere. And hey, I can still enjoy those stories, but I don't want to live them. I would not want to be any one of the characters in any of those drama stories, including the one who wins. Too much cost. No, unnecessary cost, unnecessary suffering. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And of course, my website and all the stuff that I'm putting on my website is all about how to do that, because it's an issue, and it's a whole shift. It's a whole shift of approaching life, because in the past we prioritized the future over now. We prioritize taking care of others and looking good to others over taking care of ourselves, and that I'm not saying those are not important, but when they're put as priorities, it's deadly. We need to shift the priorities. So enjoying the journey is primary, getting results secondary. Helping others, looking good to others is good, but taking care of yourself is primary. That's our number one job. So taking care of now in the journey and ourselves is number one job. Yeah. And I'm just suggesting that these way of looking at life and attitudes are just as, if you're interested in this other game, the centurist game, that's just one possible game. That's taking on, I think sometimes the biggest problem people have is they don't have big enough problems. I've got this huge problem. How am I going to live for 2 centuries?
Yeah, I want to see this retire. I want to see something, show you a story. When I start America, I found America person retire time is very later. Don't like all countries people retire always 30 60 years, but in retirement they retire time is 67. It's very later. So when they more than 60 year old, they must be rest, but they find a part-time to do. I met some volunteer at the community council. They always work there 2 or 3 hours at there, but they wait several years to get the retire pension. Wow, don't let our country retire is very, very early. So our country, China, many people need work. Right now, young people, no work. Our senior people to find the job, and then to
Lydia,
yeah.
Your story's interesting, but I'm not sure your point. What is your point?
Yeah, but I want to find a job, but no any chance to find it. So
wait. See, you have a limiting belief. No chance to find a job. How do you know? How do you know? Oh, there's no chance. Oh, can you bet me? Can you bet? How much money will you bet me if you go and apply for 20 jobs that you won't get a job you like? Are you willing to bet me money that you won't get a job? Huh? Are you willing? You don't know that you can't. If you just have go look for a job, find a job that you find one you love. You can find one. But if you believe in advance, you can't find one. That of course you can't. It looks like you prefer 100% guaranteed failure over 10% chance of success. See?
Yeah.
See, when you believe, when you have that automatic belief, it's hard to get nobody. Hey, you go all sorts of stuff and look for a job for 100 times, and then you still got it. Maybe you have some evidence about getting a job, but people just decide, Oh, I already know there's no jobs. I already know. Everybody, see, you picked that up from your culture. That just lives in your culture and you believe it. Don't believe that bullshit. Think for yourself.
Yeah. But I think right now I have a job is to reading the book, to learning English,
Okay,
and then
good.
to do the positive exercise every day. Yeah, it's my job. Yeah,
Okay,
no
good.
any chance to find the job to earn the money. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and if you wanted to earn some money and have fun, we could do that too. Don't think you can't. You can if you wanted to. Okay?
Yeah. Take care
Okay.
of myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
I mean,
important.
I've done all sorts of things that people said they can't imagine that I did, Because I said, why not? I don't see any reason why it couldn't happen, after even when I was 24 years old, I worked for IBM for 2 years, regular job at IBM 2 years.
Yeah.
I decided to go work for myself, age 24. So I started telling all my friends, "Oh, you don't have enough experience. You don't have enough experience. You got to work at least 5 more years in a regular job before you can start working for yourself." And I thought about it. I don't think I'm going to be any more ready in 5 years from now than I am now. So I just quit. And I yeah, I had to be creative. I was creative, but I got clients. And from age 24, I worked for myself. And looking back on it, I was actually semi-retired from age 24 because I kept my expenses low. So I could do a lot of stuff. And I love my work, but it was only 3 or 4 hours a day. 3 or 4 hours a day since I was 24. Okay.
Mm.
Because I didn't go for the big bucks. I went for loving my life and the freedom and the joy and the flexibility and learning and all that stuff. And I'm not trying to criticize going for the big bucks. If you enjoy doing that, fine. But be careful what you think you know. It's going to destroy your life. It's not what you're ignorant about. It's what you think you know that's not true. And of course it's hard to know because some of the stuff we do know is true. So how do you separate out the things that you think you know that maybe aren't true from the ones that are true? But you sort of need to question everything. Start questioning. Yeah, when something comes out of your mouth, you think to be, or especially any way you limit yourself. Oh, I can't do that, or that any. I mean, it could be true, but check it. How do you know that? Oh, my neighbor said that. How do they know it? Oh, their neighbor said that. How do they know it? Just because everybody believes it doesn't mean it's true. Or even a lot of people believe it. It doesn't mean it's true. You know?
Yeah, maybe maybe different culture have a different idea. Yeah, you said. I think it's right. Maybe.
And what I'm saying is it's true of all cultures. It's not just American, just Chinese or Vietnamese or whatever your culture is. It's all cultures. And yes, we tend to, and every culture has its own tendency to believe more falsehoods in certain areas. Like in the U.S., for example, people are so paranoid about anybody taking photos of their children. They think, I mean, compared to, say, China or Vietnam, you can generally take pictures of people's children. They're very happy you took pictures of them. But that's, in my view, that's completely. What's the risk? It's like they make up this big fear in America. And anyway, yes, Maria.
Yeah. Well, what Dwight said, and just ignite me a lot. And first, I was so surprised that you told us that we human beings have the possibility to live more than 8,000 years. I'm so astonished and curious how that could be happen.
Yeah.
And of course,
I think maybe I said 3,000 years, not 8,000. But anyway, 8,000 possible too, maybe. Okay, go ahead.
from from the lyrics of them
Well,
song.
no, that was 8,000. That wasn't. Oh, that was 8,000. I'm sorry. I thought you said 8,000. But go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh,
Yes, sure. 8,000.
and you know, in the past more than 20 years, I have witnessed Dwight's journey of your work. And now I try to understand how I try to understand your work, that I think from my perspective that you are just work on the job to ignite people to step out their sterilized idea system, that when we were born as a child, and we have been shaped what we are from the surroundings. There's surroundings, some visible surroundings and also some invisible surroundings. But no matter that we are shaped, to what we are now. And right now, but in Dwight's life, you are trying to just help us to recognize what we are shaped might not be the reality. So we can just step out of that reality and to find more possibilities of life. And then when you step out of the reality, when you of course with fear, with uncertainty, that we opened we break up what we are now and find the another area that maybe that expand the meaning of life. So just for myself, and I think that for my perspective, that finally I'm just catch a little bit of your thoughts. In the past 20 years, I kept challenging you. I challenged you, I doubted you, but now I become more and more appreciate you, and I find it so great to have you in my life.
Thank you.
So that's just some thoughts on my mind.
Yeah. Thank you. So let's begin to finish up here. I'd like to go around one by one and ask for your thoughts, feedback, like what you've learned, what you've been inspired by, new thoughts, something that could be helpful that you could take into your life. Maybe I was going to ask Sally, but it looks like she may have just left. Oh, there she's coming back. Sally, are you there?
Yes, yeah. It's the network is bad, and I try many times. I always admire your energy and be inspired by you. And today I also learned something new, and that is the first point is many times we will set limitation to ourselves, and it's our perception or belief that limits us. And maybe this is from the culture or the surrounding environment. But we need to have I think we need to have the critical thinking to judge what what is right or what is wrong, and because but it's a little bit hard to break the vicious cycle. We will think it's right, but most most of many but it's most of time it's hard to put it into action, and that is the biggest changes to
Well,
most people, I think.
Sally, if I may change your words from right and wrong to correct or incorrect, okay? But
Okay.
see what's correct or incorrect. And you say it's hard. Well, hey, yeah, it's a lifelong journey. And yeah, but it's just but there are steps, step by step. You can begin to maybe just set an alarm on your mobile phone to remind you to start questioning things or noticing when you're suffering and then questioning the belief behind the suffering. Just it's not going to happen overnight. Just but just each little step counts. Okay. That in large measure, that's how I do it. Every day I notice something new about maybe a belief I had that's not quite correct or needs to. I didn't even think to question. So if you just look at it as which it can be just an interesting journey in itself, Sally, to shift that, and if you think, well, it's got to be done all at once, well, of course it's not gonna, of course it's not. And a lot of what we believe is correct. We a lot of what we got for our culture supports us. I'm just talking about finding those beliefs and limiting, especially the limiting beliefs or beliefs that seem to cause suffering, that are questionable. Okay.
Yes.
So it's
I quite agree.
like it's a mystery egg hunt, Okay, let's see if we can go find those little things that are passing off as truth, but maybe aren't true, Separate out the fake eggs from the true eggs, like that. It's like a mystery hunt, Sally.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah,
see
I
that?
totally agree. Yeah,
Okay.
I totally agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
And everything would be a step by step.
Okay. Thank you. Trish Coffee, welcome. Good to see you.
It's good to be here. I realized as we went through today that I've been kind of thinking when I got to be 82 that I had outlived half of the people that were born when I was.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, okay, I made it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you did make it to that point.
That
Yes.
was in a sense, I was assuming without really thinking about it that if now I could die because I made it to the average.
Okay, you made it to an acceptable age. If you don't mind a slight interruption here, I have a new friend, and maybe she's not so happy with her life here. I mean, she's young; she's in her 20s, and so I asked her about, hey, would you like to live to 200? Oh, no way. I said, well, when do you want to die? He says, well, after I take care of my parents and they're dead, then I think I'm ready to go myself.
Oh my gosh, that's
okay,
sad.
so we can agree, but it's like, but yeah, is that like that? Like, is there? I mean, I'm not saying that we may reach a point where I've got a backup plan. If I reach a point where I don't see a way to stay happy in my life, I'm going to say goodbye. Okay, but I don't have any reason to believe that I'm anywhere near that right now. As long as I don't have any reason to believe, why even go there? Just, hey, 82, 90, 95, surprise the hell out of yourself in the world as a possibility, and no guarantees. But like, if as long, and this is, of course, this all depends upon you loving life now and loving being alive now. It's like age is not some sort of thing to like get to, and then you've been successful or something like that. what do you am I speaking to what you said, Trish, or not?
Yeah, I think so. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
Not
Anything?
at the moment.
Okay, good. Faraday.
Me, I think it's amazing hospital.
Amazing.
Holidays. It's very special journeys for you. For me, it's like you share it a lot of experience.
Yeah.
So it's very nice.
Okay.
Take care of yourself. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Greg?
I really appreciate the insight on the belief system you have shared. And what stands out for me is being able to have your own belief system, not be dictated with what is said within your surrounding. For example, in our country, I hear people say life starts at 40, you see. So if you go with that notion, you believe that you have to reach the age of 40 for you to start living. What about all that age? And it affects a lot of people. But I'm so much inspired by being able to choose what works for me and going forth with the energy and the focus and the determination. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, for me, it's like life is started always now. Now. Life starts at exactly the age I'm in. I mean, sure, I had the life before too. That's great. But yeah, it's yeah, or whatever your age you are, even if you're 5-year-old, life is right then, you know. Yeah. Stephen.
Okay, as for me, I learned several things today. The first one, living to be 100 years old is not my main goal. I think the meaning and the quality of life are more important than the length of life. And how to face each day positively is more important. And attitude toward work and life and myself affect my life. And of course, if I have a healthy body to take care of myself, I hope to live to be 200 years ago. And yes, I think I was very helpful. This meeting is very helpful for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. And Lydia, what are your closing ideas?
I want to see suffer from disease. I just now watch your picture. Stay to the hospital. I found wow, you are PT. So many doctor surround you. Yeah, so you could recover faster. So, but I think wow, for common people got some disease, suffer from disease is very pity. No chance to find a good doctor to treat you. Yes, so I found wow. Last month my husband suffer from gout at the Boston. Yeah, but we want to visit a doctor, but stay to the America, it's another country. We know visa is a travel visa and no medical insurance, so no chance to
so
go
Lydia,
to the hospital.
Lydia, is that what you got from today's? What did you
Yeah,
get?
today
What valuable thing did you get from today?
But stay at the China, I can got the treatment, but at the another country, yeah, not easy to got the treatment. I think, wow, for ordinary people is different. So I think, well, you are lucky.
Okay. So what a limiting story that is. Can you see how limiting your thoughts are? Like, oh, I'm in this country where I can't get the best treatment. I don't have the best options. Poor us, and oh, lucky you. Like you compare
Yeah,
me,
you are
I'm
lucky.
lucky. Yeah, you think I'm lucky and you're unlucky, right? So
Yeah.
see, so you put yourself in a negative situation comparing to me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, wow, maybe
So
do
I,
express them about you.
I suggest you question that belief that I'm any more lucky than you are. Maybe you're lucky and you just don't stop to notice it and look for it,
I
Maybe.
want to see. I do not got disease.
Yeah, see,
Because
if you have a background belief, I'm unlucky, then you're going to look for unlucky. Okay. You're going to find evidence for unlucky. Okay. If you have a background belief, I'm lucky or I could be lucky, then you're going to find where you're very lucky. You're going to find how well the doctors treat you. You're going to find that everybody's on your side in some way. So but it all comes from here. Okay.
yeah, but I think maybe you have so many friends. You
Oh,
got
yes, I'm
the
lucky. But why do I have so
so
many
many.
friends? Because I believe everybody is my friend already. Do you believe everybody's your friend already?
Yeah.
You do? So you just go up to a stranger on the street and say, "Hi there, my name's Lydia. Nice to meet you." How often do you do that?
Yeah, but this
How often do you?
relative just like water, just
No.
like water. I didn't strong contact.
Yeah.
Don't like you. Yeah,
Yeah,
give some
yeah.
idea each other.
I'm not saying you should be like me, but it's in here. It's not out there, Lydia. It's in here. Look in here. See what see what those beliefs are that could be
But
limiting.
I think my is not clear than you. Yeah, not clear than you.
And you compare yourself negatively. You said, "Oh, wow. Oh, is it exciting? Now I can get clearer. Oh, thank you." Instead, you focus on how yours unclear and I'm unclear. You could be clearer. You could play that game. Have fun with that game. Isn't that a fun game to maybe get clearer? Yeah.
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 So,
Lighten up, Liddy. You're too serious, gal. You're very too serious. Okay. Have fun. Let that little child out. Okay. All right.
yeah, you
Maria.
better.
Maria, your final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Hmm. Uh, 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 Final thoughts. Yeah. Thank you for giving me. Thank you for giving me the chance to make up one word I missed before my previous previous feedback. And when we step out our present or former shape, we need courage. So it just turned me back
By the way,
to the point.
courage is something you can choose.
Yeah, right. So I just
it's right there to choose if you want,
The last thought is I want to show my thank for your thought of courage, which that we met first. You brought that gift to me, but at that time, I kept doubting. How can I get courage? Where is the courage?
Where is it?
So that is, I just want to show my innate thank and gratitude to the gift you have brought to me 20 years ago.
Well, I've always treasured our relationship, Maria. Okay. Next time, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Nice to
Bye-bye.
see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Until next time, treasured spirits.
Okay. Thank you, Trish.
Okay.